Time for Mad Markets. Paul Theron now joins us. Thank you so much, Paul. Xstrata, Glencore, merger of equals, do you think? I know that a few shareholders have actually said that they're going to vote against the deal, but I mean, is it basically a done deal?
I'm in favour of it. I'm very disappointed in the name, Glencore Xstrata. How lame is that? Somebody got paid a big,
I know you came up with very interesting names last week.
Yeah, let's not go there. So Xstrata, I mean, I think what people were saying was that Xstrata has got like a very variable business, but it's mining, so it's not that bad. Glencore, on the other hand, is a trader. We know those people have got terribly volatile earnings, so they should have paid a bigger premium. That's what I think most people's concerns are going to be. People are also worried that Glassenberg, which has got 10% of the shares in Glencore, is going to end up being the deputy CEO. That doesn't really make that much sense. A couple of UK institutions have already said they're against the deal. The structure of the transaction requires all but 16% of the shareholders' approval. So I don't know. I mean, maybe it is going to fail. I don't really mind either way.
And commission authorities need to also approve the deal.
God, those people, and they're always giving us a hard time.
But I mean, in the meantime, share prices. Let's talk on that.
What the share prices are doing?
Xstrata, Glencore.
I don't know. What are they doing? I forgot to check.
And how would you play these two companies right now?
Well, I mean, we're not involved with trading them at all unless you're invested either in Swiss market with Xstrata and in London, and then obviously, Glencore being listed there as well. So it's not really an issue for us in terms of our market down here. I know some people are thinking that there's going to be a bid for Anglo, but it's a reminder again that if these guys can't even agree on their own deal and get that through, what are the chances of them buying Anglo as well? I don't know. Okay,
so CocaCola beat expectations. Of course, US earnings well underway. We usually give it a lot more focus, but there's so many other things that are coming through. But Coke is doing well.
Yeah, Coke, I mean, is one of those companies that's doing more and more of its business globally, which makes sense because, as we've discussed before, in America, they drink like 2 cans of Coke a day, whereas in India, people drink 1 can of Coke a year if they're lucky. So the opportunity is really for them to expand with that global brand into global markets. And I think you're starting to see that, and that's great, more and more. And the margins look quite good. And as a company, it's done quite a lot of work in its North American business. So it's one of those we like to own over there. And it's one of those businesses that you can say has a sort of natural opportunity to grow given its established brand in emerging markets, blah, 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 all that stuff.
No one knows the concoction that they use.
Yeah, secret formula.
Yeah, secret formula.
It's like KFC. Yum Brands results, also incredible.
Yeah.
It's that secret Colonel Burger chicken sauce thing that people get addicted to.
So on to other very important things. Iran under the spotlight again. I mean, we're seeing China starting to decrease the importation of oil out of Iran. And in fact, China is using West African oil at this point. It seems that a lot of pressure has been had on Iran because now they have to try and drop their prices to secure clients going forward. Sanctions by the US and EU. A lot of news coming through.
Tricky situation. I mean, I spent half an hour today reading the Iran page on Wikipedia, so now I'm a global expert on that nation. It's an interesting situation because it's like the 25th biggest economy in the world. It's got 78 million people. It's a land area equivalent to South Africa's or slightly larger. It's an important and old economy. I think people underestimate the extent to which there is a kind of modern and progressive part of the Iranian politics that is quite narrowly trumped to some extent by the quite conservative, religious-based part of that community. There was an election in 2009 that was quite hotly contested. I know there's a lot of saber rattling going on here. They've had real trouble with their currency, which has weakened significantly. I think the sanctions are really starting to bite. The question is, I think Hillary Clinton's assumption is that the sanctions are going to put pressure on the Iranian regime that's going to result in political change.
Enrichment in Iran?
Well, I don't know why they need nuclear power plants, but I guess I'm not against that. I think it would be a bad idea for them to have nuclear bombs, but then again, everybody around them has nuclear bombs, like India and Pakistan and the Israelis and the Turks and the Saudis. So, you've got to see this thing from their perspective as well. But in my experience, when you talk about things on a global political scale, people can imagine all sorts of terrible things and the impact that would have on markets. But in the main, those terrible things don't happen. So you can't invest on the assumption that terrible things are going to happen. Otherwise, you'd have all your money in your cash bank account never earning any positive returns.
So very quickly, Europe is under pressure, Greece under the spotlight, but industrial production out of Germany out today as well.
Yeah, so, you know, Germany is supposed to be the country that benefited so much from the euro and, like, you know, big advantages in terms of exports of their Mercedes-Benzes and their, you know, I don't know, milling machines made by ThyssenKrupp or something. Industrial production weak in Germany. Aye, man, really. Mara, why?
Thank you so much, Paul.